All come here. Feel the touch of Nurgle.
Raticus is the generous and merciful Great Unclean One of Nurgle. He is highly favored by the god of plague, and a constant disease storm rages around him. Raticus is a caring being and lavishes in spreading this wonderful gift to all those around him, drowning them in a horrific ooze of plague. Mortals often pray to him unknowingly, and he always answers. When they pray to a fertility god to heal their infertile cattle, Raticus will listen. Their animals will breed once again, then again, and again, and again, spewing forth terrible mutant spawn. When one prays to the Rainmaker for rain, he will give it to them and drown their world until it has become a swamp full of sickness. Raticus hears the pleas of mortals and merrily brings them deliverance. He is also blessed with the ability to spew forth a never-ending flow of vomit. He bears a branch from Nurgle's favorite tree, known as the Hornbeam. Scarborough was once the greatest bloodthirster of Khorne's legions. An ingenious general and absolute warrior, he shed oceans of blood for his god, and his pride was great. Through the mortal and immortal realms he went, leaving nothing but awe-inspiring devastation in his wake. Yet Tzeentch saw this minion's pride, and unbeknownst to Scarborough, slowly fed the bloodthirster's ego. Eventually, Scarborough thought himself so mighty that he attempted to lay a blow on Khorne himself. This blow had the power to shatter planets, yet it only generated a chink in the blood god's armor. Even worse than this, the bloodthirster struck Khorne when he was not looking. With a rage that made Scarborough's own anger look like a child's, Khorne hurtled his servant across the realms. For 8 days and nights he soared as a comet until impacting upon solid ground and having his wings torn to bits. Khorne had exiled him. Karil's Fate Weaver is the vizier of Tzeentch and his most powerful lord of change. Within Tzeentch's realm lies the Well of Eternity, where time and space itself has both begun and ended. It is hidden to even the god of change, so Tzeentch threw Karos in. The demon returned with 2 heads. One has seen the entirety of the past, and the other every possible future. Together they know secrets that are hidden from Tzeentch himself, and 9 times 9 Lords of Change record their every utterance at Tzeentch's side. Yet along with this gift came a curse, and Karos is blind to the present. He wields the Staff of Tomorrow, and is a psyker of immense power. Upon his staff is the Tomb of Destiny, in which Karos's heads record their great and terrible prophecies. It is constantly being written and rewritten, and the demon will use the text to gauge where he is in space and time. With a single touch, the Staff of Tomorrow can reduce the greatest of warriors to a gibbering mess of mutated flesh. The Masque was once Slaanesh handmaiden, but was cast aside and eternally cursed by the Dark Prince. In the past, this herald would dance and entertain Slaanesh, enthralling him with her impossibly wondrous moves. Unfortunately, after a grave defeat at the hands of Nurgle and Khorne, Slaanesh would despair, only to be greeted by the Masque. The demoness performed one of her most energetic dances in an attempt to raise the spirit of her god. Yet Slaanesh saw this as mockery and insult. He cast her aside, cursing her to dance forever. She now pirouettes across the material and immaterial realms, dancing at Khorne's gates, across the circles of Slaanesh, and upon countless battlefields. She enacts the great tales of her god, and the performances are truly enthralling. Mortals drop their weapons and join the herald as she moves, dancing as if they had rehearsed for such a part. Oftentimes, they will end the performance by clawing their eyes and throats out, or be cut down by the graceful dancer herself. Kugath Plaguefather is a great unclean one, of putrid and grand goals. He is one of Nurgle's most exalted greater demons, and the Plaguefather, like other unclean ones, spends much of his time testing and spreading Nurgle's gifts. Unlike the others though, Kugath wishes to achieve something not even Nurgle has done. This greater demon seeks to create a plague that would infect the gods themselves. He finds great pleasure in meddling with the lives of mortals, and spends much of his time on the physical plane, not concerning himself with the great game. He travels abroad, spreading the gifts of the Grandfather and blessing populations with virulent disease. He uses the many races of the world as test subjects and ingredients for his plagues, and has grown to like many of them. In an odd event, Karil's Fate Weaver invaded Bretonnia, only to be thwarted by Kugath, as this was one of his favorite places to test plague.